So if you feel like you're not enough, you're not good enough, this is basically a mix of a lot of things going on. There's shame, toxic shame stored inside of you. You have an inner critic inside of your mind that's kind of hammering you down with what seem like objective facts for why you're not good enough. Because you did this thing when you were in grade 2, and then when you were a teenager there was this. And there's all these reasons for why you are undeserving of, let's say, getting your needs met. That's basically what this is going to be about, right? You don't feel good enough. That's going to be around your needs, because your wounding is going to be around needs that you actually have, right? So kind of what's going on here, right? Let's kind of just break this down. Let's begin to free you from this. Let's begin to kind of create a direction on what can you kind of do about this. Essentially, if you're not feeling good enough, you've internalized an external condition in childhood, right? Your inner critic that tells you it's not good enough. This is not you. That's not your identity. You're pure awareness. You're just pure consciousness. This inner voice, this inner monologue, these thoughts that we have in our head, they're not us. Same thing with the inner critic. It's not us. We have picked up this conditioning from authority figures in childhood, and we've used that to create our sense of ego and identity so that we can navigate the world, we can get our needs met, we can survive. And now here we are, we're adults, and we don't need to have this voice in our head that doesn't tell us, or that tells us that we're not good enough. We don't have to have this subconscious shame completely stored in the body and nervous system that ruins our ability to take risks, to approach people, to start a business, to do something that, we might not typically do. We're too afraid to do something because we're afraid of embarrassment or rejection or whatever it is. Essentially, we have some kind of need, right? We'll say this is the need right here. We have some kind of need, and when we go to get that need met, we're afraid of actually getting it met because we were communicated in the past that it was bad, it was wrong, there was something wrong with us. You were bad. That's why you don't feel good enough. You think you're bad. Subconsciously, you just have this narrative, this general sense, this general feeling inside of you that you're bad. And when we go to get that need met, that conditioning comes up. That need that was bad, that was rejected in childhood or in school, maybe your teacher maybe made fun of you in front of the whole class. They kind of shamed you, and it was really embarrassing, and it was hard. So now you just kind of like contracted and you repressed it. You were tensed it up, pushed it all the way to the back. So you don't feel good enough because you've internalized all this external bullshit, and you've basically made it your identity. You've made it your sense of who you actually are when it's not. So to actually begin to shift this, we need to change who you believe you are. We need to actually shift your sense of identity. We have to begin to look directly at who you are. We have to look at your conditioning and learn to let it go. And from that letting go, we can recreate a new pattern that is authentic to you, so that the things you're doing in your life, they feel rejuvenating. When you're doing something in your life, it feels good. It feels like the thing that fits you. When you're doing something in your life, it feels like it's a healing thing. Your path in life, your direction is rejuvenating. So let's talk about how do you start to actually, what do you actually kind of do about this? So some basic practices would be like inner child work, nervous system regulation, mindfulness, meditation, getting into your body mindful movement, all of which is absolutely essential. Check out books on my book list as well. Go to the therapy and healing section. Read books on this stuff as well. 100% essential. But ultimately, what's going to have to happen is your current version of you is going to have to change. That conditioning that basically continuously states that you're not good enough in whatever form it comes in, whether it's a thought or just a subtle sense. Most of this is very subconscious and subtle. It's stored in the body, it's stored in the nervous system. It's that subtle sense of, I'm not worthy enough to approach that attractive person. I'm not worthy enough to do this career thing that I want to do. I'm just not good enough to get my needs met. That's the whole thing. You have something you want. You have a need that you have. You want that thing, but then there's that conditioning inside of you that's fighting that need. So get in touch with that need that you have. Learn to label it. Get clear about the need that you have and learn to sit and feel it. Learn to actually bring full mindfulness and full focus to the feeling of that need in the body. Same thing with the conditioning and the shame. Learn to label it. So usually when the shame pops up, we want to distract ourselves. We gotta get it out of my pocket. We go on our phone. I don't know. Do whatever you can to distract yourself from it. Watch TV, eat food, play video games, Netflix, whatever you want. We don't want to just look at it and feel it, but that's the whole thing that we have to do. You got to turn back towards it and look at it directly and just feel it. And it's going to feel very contracted. You're probably going to want to get rid of it. You're not going to like it very much. But essentially all these kind of inner wounds, you can picture them, there's like a hurting child inside of you. It's the 5-year-old version of you, the 8-year-old version of you that was rejected. It doesn't feel like it got the support it needed. It didn't get the love that it needed. It didn't get its needs met. Maybe you needed attention and you just didn't get the attention you needed. You needed the connection you needed. You needed the approval that you needed. And then it was subconsciously communicated to you, or a better way of saying what I'm trying to say here is it was either directly or indirectly communicated to you that it was bad, right? Direct communication is literally just like, that's bad. Indirect is more of like a subtle rejection and aversion of, you avert your gaze, you give attention somewhere else, you don't pay it, no one's paying attention to you when you need it. Body language, all sorts of things that are basically indirectly saying like, no, that's not good enough, that's not good, etc. Even very innocent things, like maybe you needed attention from a parent, but they were just a bit too busy at the time. They were focused on work. They were focused on making dinner, and you just needed a little bit of security and love and attention. But they just couldn't give it to you at that moment, and that was it. You interpreted that in a particular way, like you're not good enough, you're not worthy of mommy's attention. So it's turning back towards these parts of you that is going to heal them. It's learning to feel them in the body, feel the energy in the body. What space in your body does it where do you feel it in the body? Just feeling it. And then opening up in that space. So instead of always contracting, because you'll notice when you're not mindful, when you're basically running on autopilot, when you're running unconsciously, you're very contracted, you're very tense. You're not open, you're not relaxed, you're not authentic, you're not in tune with yourself, you're not very in tune with the present experience. It's the conditioning controlling you. It's the survival conditioning, the cultural conditioning, that's what's controlling you. So we're just learning to turn back towards the parts of ourselves that we are neglecting. You see, they were neglected, but now we continue the pattern. We internalize the neglect, and we neglect those parts of ourselves. So we're just turning back towards that hurting child within, creating real self-esteem, real inner security. Feeling the shame, and then learning to open up. Letting go of those narratives that we picked up of I'm bad or this need is bad. Letting go of that stuff. I think religion's a good example, like sex is a sin, right? If you hold that belief, good luck. You're going to attempt to repress your sexuality. It will fail. And you're going to feel horrible about yourself continuously. You're going to be stuck in this toxic shame cycle when sex is a very simple and basic need. So you have a need met and you just don't feel good about that need. You think that that need is bad. You are judging yourself and you're attacking yourself. You need to just surrender, watch yourself attack yourself, and let that go. You watch yourself in real time attacking yourself in the form of stories, in the form of resisting feelings, in the form of tensions and avoidance, distractions, all sorts of things, resisting. You watch yourself attack yourself, and instead of doing that, you learn to lovingly bring attention to the wounded part of you that integrates it. You learn to identify the feelings of not being good enough, the feelings of being unworthy, the feelings of being bad. Shame, toxic shame. You learn to just be with what you're experiencing and let go of everything else. And eventually that feels very completing. And you can still go do all those other things, approach the person or start the business or take the career risk or whatever you want. You can do those things, but now instead of doing them, or instead of having this kind of inner war going on or chasing something because you finally think it'll make you happy, see, that game is gone. You just feel good being. You feel good existing. And now everything you do is an expression of your wholeness. Everything you do is now coming from authenticity. It's coming from your natural self. Not the conditioning that you have that is running your life the overwhelming majority of the time, probably 90% of the time. It's coming from your authentic energy, from your authentic personality, from your authentic wants and needs, from your authentic drives, from your intrinsic motivation as opposed to extrinsic motivation. We're conditioned in our culture to follow extrinsic motivation, money, status, approval, things external to us, not the internal motivation, the intrinsic motivation, things like curiosity, purpose, the love of doing something, things like that. Mastery, feelings of freedom. You're learning to reclaim the things that toxic shame, it essentially just cut you off from. You're reclaiming these parts of yourself and integrating them. And you're not letting the toxic shame's agenda control you. That's it. Now you're free. So I got a lot of great books on my book list. Check those out. 100% pick up the book Healing the Shame That Binds You. Absolutely essential read for this kind of stuff. I have amazing books in the therapy and healing section of my book list. Some of the greatest work on the planet literally exists in my book list. Ken Wilber, amazing stuff, like top quality material. Go check it out. Other than that, I'm doing one-to-one coaching. If you want to work with me one-to-one, you want to go deep, very deep into this stuff, that's what my program is all about. Other than that, see you in the next video.